Chosen one, do you notice the significant fluctuations in the global economy, I ask you? Do you notice the significant fluctuations in the global economy? Markets are shaking, systems are trembling, and what once felt stable is now uncertain. While many are gripped by fear, confusion, and survival, thinking something very different is happening for you, chosen one. This is not random chaos. This is not accidental collapse. This is a divine shaking, and it is creating space for a supernatural transfer that has your name written on it. Anointed one, as the world enters economic pressure, heaven is releasing provision with precision. While others panic at global shocks, you are being positioned. What looks like loss on the surface is alignment beneath it. God is not moving you into survival mode. He is moving you into supply mode. This is the moment where preparation meets prophecy, where hidden faith meets visible favor, and where the systems of this world make room for heaven's economy to manifest through you. Chosen one. This message found you because timing matters. Stay with this word, align your spirit, and don't dismiss what is stirring within you. If your spirit bears witness, quietly claim it, stay connected, and mark this moment. Something has already shifted, and this is only the beginning. Chosen one. What you are witnessing in the world right now is not merely economic instability. It is not just headlines, numbers, or sudden shifts that analysts struggle to explain. What you are feeling in your spirit goes deeper than that. Something foundational is being shaken. Systems people trusted for decades are losing their grip, and the illusion of security is cracking in plain sight. And while many are panicking, tightening their fists, and slipping into fear, you have been sensing something else entirely. A strange calm, a quiet alertness, almost like your spirit has been standing at attention waiting for a signal. That is not coincidence. That is discernment. That is because heaven has already marked you as someone who would not collapse in the shaking, but rise through it. Anointed one, there are moments in history when God allows global pressure to expose what was never meant to last. When the ground begins to move, it reveals who built on sand and who was anchored in something eternal. I remember a season in my own life when everything that felt stable started to fall apart at the same time. Income became unpredictable. Plans I trusted stopped working. People I leaned on disappeared without explanation. And in that season, fear tried to convince me that I was being punished or forgotten. But looking back now, I can see it clearly. That collapse was not destruction. It was positioning. It was the removal of false supports so that divine supply could finally reach me without obstruction. And chosen one, the same pattern is unfolding around you right now. What feels like global chaos is actually divine clearance. God is not scrambling to respond to these shocks. Heaven is not reacting late. This moment was anticipated long before you were born. Scripture has always whispered about seasons where everything that can be shaken will be shaken, not to destroy the faithful, but to reveal them. You are not living in a time of abandonment. You are living in a time of separation. And separation is never comfortable, but it is always purposeful. The reason this shaking feels intense is because the elevation being prepared for you carries weight. God does not elevate lightly. He reinforces the foundation first. Chosen one. You may have noticed how your tolerance for certain things has changed. Conversations that once felt normal now feel draining. Environments you once fit into suddenly feel too small. Even your own old habits may feel uncomfortable now. That is not restlessness. That is refinement. Heaven has been quietly upgrading your internal capacity because what is coming cannot be carried by an old mindset. Wealth without alignment destroys people. Influence without grounding ruins souls. So God in His mercy prepares you in private before He promotes you in public. I know this because I have lived through that hidden preparation. Long nights where obedience felt lonely. Seasons where doing the right thing cost more than it seemed to give. Moments where I wondered if my integrity was worth it. It was. And yours is too. Anointed one, hear this clearly. Your wealth transfer is not arriving because you are lucky. It is arriving because you are ready. This is not about sudden money appearing out of nowhere. This is about divine alignment, unlocking streams that were previously blocked. Ideas you dismissed will resurface with clarity. Connections you never chased will begin to find you. Opportunities that once felt out of reach will open without strain. And it will feel almost unsettling how naturally it happens. Not because it is fake, but because grace works differently than struggle. When God funds an assignment, He removes the need for panic. He replaces survival with stewardship. You have carried responsibility longer than most people realize. You learned how to be faithful with little, not because it was easy, but because you had no other choice. You learned restraint, discipline, and discernment in seasons where no one was applauding you. And that is why heaven trusts you now. There are people who want wealth, but very few who can carry it without being consumed by it. God watched how you handled lack. He watched how you treated people when you had nothing to gain. He watched how you stayed humble when you could have grown bitter. And those quiet choices built spiritual equity. Nothing was wasted. Chosen one. The world measures readiness by credentials and visibility. Heaven measures it by character and surrender. And that is why this transfer may surprise people around you. They will call it sudden. They will say it happened overnight. They will not see the years of pruning, restraint, obedience, and inner work that made this moment inevitable. But you will know, you will recognize the hand of God in it. You will feel peace instead of arrogance, gratitude instead of shock, responsibility instead of ego. That is how you will know this is from Him. Right now, heaven is asking you for one thing, not striving, not fear-driven preparation, but alignment, a willingness to release old narratives of scarcity, a decision to stop bracing for loss and start expecting provision. This does not mean you become careless. It means you become anchored. It means you stop asking, what if it all falls apart, and start declaring, even if it shakes, I will not. Because your supply is no longer tied to systems that are collapsing. It is tied to a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Chosen one, take a breath and let this settle. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are standing in the middle of a divine transition, and heaven is already moving on your behalf. What is unfolding will not require you to beg, chase, or compromise. It will require you to stay surrendered, stay discerning, and stay grounded. And as you do, you will begin to see the evidence appear quietly at first, then unmistakably. The shaking is not your threat. It is your signal. Chosen one. There is a reason you have not broken under the pressure that has crushed others. There is a reason your spirit has remained alert while many around you have gone numb or distracted. Heaven does not reinforce vessels that are about to be discarded. It reinforces those that are about to be used. What you are experiencing internally right now is not anxiety. It is anticipation. It is the tension that comes when divine timing begins to converge with human readiness. You were never meant to thrive by clinging to systems that are now failing. You were meant to outgrow them. Anointed one, let me speak to the quiet frustration you may have been carrying. The moments when you did everything right and still felt delayed. The seasons when you were disciplined, faithful, and patient, yet progress felt slow or invisible. I know that space well. I remember working diligently, praying consistently, showing up even when motivation was low, only to watch others advance faster with less integrity. It would have been easy to grow resentful or compromise my values just to keep pace, but something in my spirit would not let me. Looking back, I understand now. Speed without stability destroys people. God was never withholding from me. He was building something inside me that money alone could never create. The same is true for you. Chosen One Heaven does not release wealth as a reward for effort. It releases it as a response to alignment. That is why this season feels different from anything you have lived before. The striving is losing its grip on you. The need to prove yourself is dissolving. You are becoming more selective, more discerning, more internally anchored. This is not stagnation. This is stabilization. God is anchoring you because what is coming will test not just your finances, but your identity. And identity must be settled before increase arrives. You may have noticed how your prayers have changed. You are not begging the way you used to. You are listening more. You are asking different questions. Not, how do I get out of this, but what are you forming in me through this? That shift is evidence of maturity. That is the language of someone moving from survival into stewardship. I remember the moment that shift happened for me. I stopped praying for escape and started praying for clarity. Almost immediately, my circumstances did not change, but my vision did. And once vision changes, movement is inevitable. Chosen One clarity always precedes provision. Anointed One, let me be clear about something important. This wealth transfer is not about excess for the sake of comfort. It is about capacity for assignment. God is not positioning you to escape the world, but to influence it. That is why your heart has always been wired differently. You have never been satisfied with accumulation alone. Even when you imagined abundance, you pictured impact. You thought about freedom, not just for yourself, but for others connected to you. That desire was placed there intentionally. God does not fund empty ambition. He funds purpose. There were times you felt delayed because you were being trained to carry weight. Responsibility before resources is a divine principle. If wealth had arrived earlier, it might have magnified wounds you had not yet healed. It might have amplified insecurity or attracted people who were not assigned to your future. So God protected you. He allowed time to filter relationships. He let silence teach discernment. He let lack train discipline. None of that was punishment. It was preparation. And now the version of you that stands here is not easily impressed, easily distracted, or easily manipulated. That is why heaven trusts you. Chosen One, pay attention to what is happening around you now. You may be seeing old doors close without emotion. Things that once terrified you to lose are leaving quietly. That is a sign that your identity is no longer attached to them. When God prepares to elevate someone, He loosens their grip on what no longer fits. That release is not loss. It is relief. I remember feeling strangely calm when something I once prayed desperately for finally ended. At first I questioned myself, but peace is the witness. Peace is the confirmation that God has already made the adjustment internally before it shows up externally. Anointed One, you are entering a phase where your obedience will start to produce visible fruit. Not because you forced it, but because the season has changed. Just as farmers do not harvest in winter, no matter how hard they work, there are times when effort alone cannot produce results. But when the season shifts, growth appears with less strain. That is where you are now. The ground has been prepared, the soil has been turned, and what was planted in tears is beginning to rise with strength. This is why you must guard your inner posture carefully. Do not let fear rush you. Do not let excitement make you careless. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay aligned. I have seen people sabotage divine acceleration by moving too quickly without listening. When opportunity arrives, suddenly discernment becomes more important than enthusiasm. God is not asking you to say yes to everything. He is asking you to say yes to what aligns. The difference between blessing and burden is alignment. Chosen one. There will be moments soon where provision surprises you. It may not look the way you imagined. It may come through ideas, connections, or timing that feels almost too precise. Do not overanalyze it. Receive it with gratitude, not suspicion. Grace does not announce itself with noise. It arrives quietly and proves itself over time. I remember the first breakthrough that came without struggle. My instinct was to question it, but peace followed it, not pressure, and peace is always the signature of God. Anointed one, this is also a season of internal surrender. Not dramatic gestures, but daily trust. Releasing the need to control outcomes. Letting go of timelines you built in fear. Allowing God to lead without constantly needing proof. That kind of surrender is not weakness. It is strength under authority. When you surrender correctly, you do not shrink. You stabilize, and stability attracts resources because it signals safety. Chosen one, heaven is not rushing you, but it is moving with intention. Stay present, stay aware, stay faithful with what is in front of you now. The next steps will reveal themselves in time, not all at once. You do not need to see the entire path. You only need to remain aligned with the one who does. What is unfolding is not fragile. It will not collapse because it is being built on something eternal. And as you continue to walk in discernment and trust, you will begin to see evidence that this transfer is not a promise for someday. It is an alignment that has already begun. Chosen one. There is a sacred shift that happens when heaven decides you are ready to move from preparation into provision. It is subtle at first, almost quiet, but unmistakable once you recognize it. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself. Instead, you begin to move with a steady confidence that does not need approval. That is not arrogance. That is alignment. And alignment is the doorway through which supernatural supply flows. Anointed one. Many people misunderstand how divine provision works. They think it arrives with noise, spectacle, and instant relief. But the truth is, God often introduces provision through responsibility before abundance. He allows you to feel the weight of what you are about to carry before He places it in your hands. That is why this season may feel heavier emotionally, even as hope is rising. You are not regressing, you are being calibrated. Heaven is adjusting your perception, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening your inner resolve so that when increase comes, it does not overwhelm you. I remember a time when I prayed earnestly for breakthrough, believing it would solve the tension I was feeling. But instead of immediate relief, I felt an increase in awareness. I became more sensitive to my own motives, more aware of my weaknesses, more conscious of how easily fear could influence my decisions. At first, I thought something was wrong, but later I realized God was giving me a gift. He was exposing what needed to be healed before expansion could occur. Because increase does not heal insecurity, it magnifies it. And God is too loving to place you in a position where your blessing becomes your burden. Chosen one. This is why self-honesty is essential right now. Not condemnation, not self-criticism, but truth. You may be noticing old fears, surface questions about worthiness, or memories of past failures trying to speak again. That does not mean you are going backward. It means those voices are losing their hiding place. When light increases, shadows become visible. Do not panic when this happens. Let the light do its work. What is being exposed is being removed, not revived. Anointed One, hear this clearly. You are not disqualified by your past financial mistakes. You are not disqualified by seasons of lack. You are not disqualified by times you doubted yourself or hesitated. God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for teachability. I have made decisions that cost me financially. I have trusted people I should not have. I have delayed opportunities out of fear. Yet none of those moments disqualified me. They refined me. They taught me discernment that no book ever could. And now those lessons serve as protection, not shame. The same will be true for you if you allow it. Chosen One. There is a supernatural intelligence that comes with alignment. You begin to sense when to move and when to wait. You know when to speak and when silence carries more authority. You start recognizing opportunities not by how attractive they look, but by how much peace they carry. That peace is not passive, it is powerful. It is the signal that heaven is backing what is unfolding. And when peace accompanies provision, sustainability follows. You may notice that your relationship with money itself is changing. You are less emotionally reactive, less desperate, less impulsive. That shift is critical. Wealth responds to emotional stability. Resources flow toward clarity and discipline. That is why God works on your inner world before He expands your external one. I have watched people receive sudden increase only to lose it just as quickly because they never learned how to hold it calmly. They were still trying to fill emotional gaps with material solutions. God is sparing you from that cycle. Anointed One this season is also teaching you to recognize the difference between opportunity and assignment. Not everything that pays is aligned. Not every open door is yours to walk through. Discernment is more valuable than speed right now. I remember being offered opportunities that looked perfect on paper, financially attractive, socially validating. Yet something in my spirit resisted them. Saying no felt risky at the time. But months later, I could see clearly that accepting those offers would have diverted me from my true path. Saying no preserved my future. Your discernment will do the same if you trust it. Chosen One. Heaven is not just increasing your resources, it is increasing your influence. Influence requires integrity because people will follow the fruit of your life, not just your words. That is why your character has been tested quietly. How you treat people who cannot help you, how you respond when misunderstood, how you manage disappointment without becoming bitter. These are not small things. They are indicators of readiness. God does not release influence where it can be misused. Anointed One. There will be moments soon when others notice the shift around you. They may not understand it. Some will celebrate it. Others may feel uncomfortable. Do not explain yourself. Do not downplay what God is doing. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. Stay generous. The more quietly confident you become, the more undeniable the work of God will be. Favor does not need defense. It reveals itself over time. This is also a season where generosity will take on new meaning for you. Not impulsive giving, but intentional stewardship. You will feel prompted to invest, to support, to build in ways that stretch you just enough to keep you dependent on God. I remember giving when it felt risky, not reckless, but uncomfortable. And each time clarity followed, provision followed. Not always immediately, but consistently. Generosity aligns your heart with heaven's flow. It keeps resources moving rather than stagnating. Chosen One, understand this. Supernatural supply is not about bypassing responsibility. It is about partnering with heaven in wisdom. You will still need to plan, to manage, to learn. but you will do so from a place of peace, not fear. Strategy without anxiety. Discipline without desperation. That is the posture of someone walking in divine alignment. Right now, your assignment is simple but profound. Stay present, stay obedient, stay internally surrendered. Do not rush the unfolding. Let God set the pace. You are not missing anything. What is meant for you is finding you. The alignment is already active. And as you continue to walk with humility and discernment, you will see that this transfer is not something you chase. It is something you steward as it arrives step by step, with clarity and peace guiding every move. Chosen one. There is a deeper layer to what is happening now, and it goes beyond money, opportunity, or external increase. Heaven is not only shifting what flows into your hands, it is redefining what flows through your life. This is the stage where many people misunderstand the process. They think elevation is about escape from pressure, responsibility, or struggle. But true elevation is about expansion. God is expanding your capacity to carry weight without losing peace. And that is why this phase feels both empowering and sobering at the same time. Anointed One influence always precedes visibility in the spirit. Long before people notice what God is doing around you, the unseen realm already responds to who you are becoming. Your words carry more weight now. Your decisions create ripples you did not intend but were prepared for. Even your silence speaks. This is not something you forced. It is something that happens when identity aligns with assignment. And that alignment is the foundation for kingdom-level wealth. I want to speak honestly here because this is where authenticity matters. There was a time when I thought if God ever trusted me with significant resources, it would feel exhilarating all the time. But the truth is, when responsibility increases, so does awareness. You begin to realize that every decision matters more. Every partnership carries consequence. Every yes shapes not just your future, but the futures of others connected to you. At first, that realization can feel heavy. But then you understand something sacred. God does not place weight on those He has not strengthened. If He is allowing you to feel the gravity of influence, it is because you are capable of carrying it. Chosen one. This is why distractions are falling away so quickly now. Things that once consumed your attention no longer hold power over you. It is not because you are becoming rigid or withdrawn. It is because your spirit recognizes the value of focus. Focus is expensive, and God only sharpens it in those who are about to steward something significant. When you protect your focus, you protect your future. Anointed One, you may notice that your tolerance for chaos has decreased. You no longer thrive in environments filled with drama, confusion, or constant urgency. That is not weakness. That is maturity. Wealth that lasts is built in environments of clarity, not chaos. God is training you to recognize peace as a prerequisite, not a reward. If something consistently steals your peace, it will eventually cost you more than it gives. Learning that now will save you later. This is also a season where your relationship with authority is being refined. Not dominance, not control, but stewardship. Authority in the kingdom is not about power over others. It is about responsibility for outcomes. God is teaching you to lead without needing to be loud, to influence without intimidation, to build without exploitation. That kind of authority attracts resources naturally because people trust it, and trust is the true currency behind sustainable wealth. Chosen one. There will be moments when you are tempted to shrink back out of humility or fear of standing out. Resist that temptation gently but firmly. Humility is not hiding. Humility is accuracy. It is agreeing with what God says about you even when it stretches your comfort zone. I have seen people delay their own elevation because they confused humility with invisibility. God does not ask you to deny what He is building. He asks you to steward it with reverence. Anointed One. The wealth connected to your life is not random. It is targeted. It has direction. It is meant to flow through structures, systems, and solutions that bring relief, order, and restoration. That is why ideas have been stirring in you that feel bigger than personal gain. You think about sustainability. You think about legacy. You think about creating something that outlives you. That is not ambition. That is calling. And calling always comes with provision attached to it. You may also notice a growing distance between you and certain people, not out of conflict, but out of divergence. Paths are separating, priorities are shifting. This is natural and necessary. Every elevation requires realignment. Not everyone who walked with you in survival can walk with you in stewardship. That does not make them wrong. It makes the season different. Release without resentment. Bless without explanation. God handles the transitions when you stay soft-hearted. Chosen One. This is where discipline becomes sacred. Not rigid rules, but rhythms that support clarity. How you manage your time, how you guard your energy, how you respond to pressure. These daily choices are shaping your future capacity. I learned this the hard way. There were seasons where I had opportunity but lacked structure, and it created unnecessary strain. God used that experience to teach me that freedom without discipline eventually becomes bondage. But discipline paired with purpose creates expansion. You are learning that balance now. Anointed One, be mindful of the voices you allow to influence you. As elevation begins, opinions multiply. Some will praise you, some will doubt you, some will project their own fears onto your future. Listen selectively. Counsel is valuable, but discernment determines which counsel to receive. God often confirms direction quietly, not through consensus. Stay anchored in the voice that has guided you this far. It has not failed you yet. There is also a deeper invitation in this season to trust God with outcomes, not just intentions. It is one thing to want to do good. It is another to allow God to shape how that good is done. Surrendering control over results keeps your heart free from pride and disappointment. When God leads the outcome, you remain teachable, and teachability keeps the flow open. Chosen One, wealth that comes from heaven carries responsibility, but it also carries grace. You will not be asked to carry this alone. Wisdom will meet you as you need it. Help will appear at the right time. Clarity will come when decisions matter most. Do not be afraid of the scale of what is forming. God does not reveal vision without also providing provision. The same hand that expanded your calling will sustain you in it. Right now, the most powerful thing you can do is remain grounded in gratitude. Gratitude keeps you aware of grace. It reminds you that everything flowing into your life is sourced from something greater than your own effort. When gratitude leads, arrogance cannot follow, and where arrogance is absent, longevity thrives. Chosen One. What is unfolding is not a test you must pass, but a path you are already walking. Stay aligned, stay humble, stay focused. The authority you are stepping into is not loud, but it is undeniable. And as you continue forward with clarity and reverence, you will see that this transfer is not only reshaping your circumstances, it is establishing you as a steward who can be trusted with influence, provision, and purpose in a world that desperately needs all three. Chosen One. This is the point where many people misunderstand what surrender truly means. They think surrender is passive, as if you stop moving, stop deciding, stop engaging with life. But surrender in this season is active trust. It is choosing alignment over anxiety, obedience over urgency, and wisdom over impulse. Heaven is not asking you to sit still and wait for something to fall into your lap. Heaven is asking you to walk forward without fear while remaining sensitive to divine direction. That balance is rare, and it is one of the reasons you were chosen. Anointed One. There is a refining happening now in how you make decisions. You may notice that rushed choices no longer feel right. Even when opportunities look good, something in you pauses. That pause is not hesitation, it is discernment awakening. God is training you to move with intention, not pressure. I remember a season when every decision felt urgent, as if saying no would cost me everything. But urgency is often fear in disguise. When I learned to slow down and listen, I realized that what was truly meant for me did not require panic to obtain. Peace accompanied it. That same peace is beginning to govern your choices now. Chosen One. Let's talk about trust, because this is where many stumble. Trusting God with your future is one thing. Trusting Him with your timing is another. Timing exposes control. There are things you know you are capable of doing right now. Doors you could force open. Outcomes you could manipulate if you wanted to. But something in you refuses to move ahead of alignment. That restraint is strength, not weakness. God can trust those who do not rush ahead of Him. That is why this transfer will not crush you. You have learned patience without becoming passive. Anointed One, you are also learning how to carry expectation without entitlement. Expectation says God is faithful. Entitlement says, I deserve this now. Heaven responds to expectation, but it resists entitlement. The reason you are positioned for increase is because your heart has remained soft even when life was hard. You did not become bitter. You did not grow cynical. You did not close yourself off. That openness is sacred. It keeps you teachable, and teachability attracts wisdom, which attracts resources. You may have noticed that prayer has become more conversational than desperate. You are not pleading the way you once did. You are listening more. You are sensing nudges, impressions, quiet instructions that do not shout but carry authority. That is a sign of intimacy. God speaks softly to those who are close, and closeness produces confidence. Not loud confidence, but settled confidence. The kind that does not need to announce itself. That confidence will anchor you when the external changes accelerate. Chosen One. There will be moments in this season when doubt tries to resurface. Not loud doubt, but subtle doubt. Questions like, what if I misheard? Or what if I'm expecting too much? Or what if this doesn't work the way I thought? When those thoughts arise, do not fight them aggressively. Simply return to what you know. Remember how far you've come. Remember the patterns of provision you have already lived through. I have learned that doubt loses its power when confronted with memory. God's faithfulness in your past is evidence for your future. Anointed One, you are also being taught how to receive without guilt. For some, receiving is harder than giving. You may feel a pull to minimize your blessings, to downplay success, to make yourself smaller so others feel comfortable. But shrinking does not serve anyone. It does not honor God, and it does not help those who will be blessed through you. Receiving with gratitude is not arrogance, it is stewardship. When you receive well, you learn how to give well. There is a deeper healing happening now around worth. You are beginning to understand that your value was never tied to struggle. You do not need to suffer to be legitimate. You do not need to be exhausted to be faithful. That belief may have served you in survival, but it does not belong in stewardship. God is teaching you that rest is not laziness. It is alignment. A rested mind makes better decisions. A rested spirit hears more clearly. A rested heart gives more freely. This is why peace is increasing in you even as responsibility grows. Chosen one, you may feel an increased responsibility toward your environment, not in a controlling way, but in a discerning way. You are more selective about what you consume, who you listen to, where you spend your energy. That selectivity is not selfishness, it is wisdom. Not everyone needs access to you in this season. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Protecting your inner world protects the flow of what God is doing through you. Anointed one, there is also a quiet courage forming in you. A willingness to be misunderstood without needing to defend yourself. A strength to stand alone if necessary, knowing you are not truly alone. That courage is essential for leaders, builders, and stewards. I remember times when obedience isolated me temporarily. It felt uncomfortable, even lonely. But those seasons clarified my values and purified my motives. When connection returned, it was healthier and aligned. Trust the temporary discomfort. It is making room for sustainable relationships. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of consistency right now. Small, faithful actions matter more than dramatic gestures. Showing up when no one is watching, managing what you have well, keeping your word. These things compound over time. Heaven notices consistency. People notice consistency. Resources respond to consistency. You are building trust in the unseen that will soon manifest in the seen. Anointed one, as this transfer continues to unfold, remember this: you are not being elevated to escape responsibility. You are being elevated to steward it with grace. You are not being blessed to separate yourself from others. You are being blessed to serve without depletion. That distinction matters. When your source is secure, your service becomes sustainable. Right now, remain anchored in humility, but do not deny the authority God is giving you. Remain open, but not unguarded. Remain expectant, but not entitled. This posture keeps you aligned, and alignment keeps the flow open. Chosen one. What is happening is not fragile. It does not depend on perfect conditions. It depends on divine faithfulness and your willingness to stay surrendered. You are not late. You are not early. You are on time. And as you continue to walk with trust, clarity, and courage, you will see that this season is not about striving for something new. It is about stepping fully into what has been prepared for you all along. Chosen one. Now you are standing at a threshold that many sense but few cross with clarity. This is not the moment of hype. This is the moment of embodiment. Everything you have felt, learned, released, and surrendered has been preparing you for this quieter, deeper phase where faith becomes movement and alignment becomes evidence. Heaven is not asking you to believe harder. Heaven is asking you to walk as if what was promised is already active, because in the Spirit it is. Anointed one. There is a difference between waiting and being positioned. Waiting feels stagnant. Positioning feels still but alert. You are not idle. You are attentive. You are aware. You are present. You are not scanning the horizon anxiously for signs. You are noticing confirmations in ordinary moments. A conversation that answers a question you did not speak out loud. An idea that returns with clarity instead of confusion. A door opening without resistance. These are not coincidences. They are signals that alignment is no longer theoretical, it is operational. I want to speak plainly here because this is where spiritual language must meet real life. When provision begins to move, it rarely announces itself dramatically. It shows up as margin, as relief, as timing that works out without strain. I remember the first time I noticed this shift in my own life. Bills still existed. Responsibilities did not disappear, but the panic was gone. Decisions no longer felt like emergencies. There was space to think, space to choose wisely. That space was the evidence, not excess, but peace. And peace is often the first visible fruit of supernatural supply. Chosen one. This is where trust becomes tangible. You will be tempted to measure progress by comparing yourself to others. Resist that temptation. Comparison blinds discernment. Your path is calibrated specifically to your calling. The pace, the scale, the form of provision are all intentional. God is not replicating someone else's story in your life. He is fulfilling the one written for you. When you stop comparing, you will recognize how precisely your needs are being met in ways that support your purpose, not distract from it. Anointed one, there is also a call here to courage. Not reckless courage, but grounded courage. The courage to act when clarity comes. The courage to release what no longer aligns, even if it once felt safe. The courage to trust new rhythms. Courage does not mean you will never feel uncertainty. It means uncertainty no longer controls you. I have learned that fear often speaks loudest right before obedience produces fruit. When that happens, pause, breathe, and return to what you know is true. God has not led you this far to abandon you now. Chosen one, your role in this season is not to manage outcomes, but to manage posture. Stay teachable, stay grateful, stay responsive. When correction comes, receive it without defensiveness. When affirmation comes, receive it without pride. Both are tools for growth. Heaven refines those it intends to trust long term. And refinement is always a sign of investment. You may notice that your definition of success is changing. It is no longer just about accumulation or visibility. It is about sustainability, impact, freedom of spirit, alignment of life. That shift is critical. Many people reach a level of success only to realize it cost them their peace. You are being spared that lesson because you learned peace first. Wealth that follows peace lasts. Wealth that precedes peace consumes. Anointed one, there will be people who misunderstand your calm. They may interpret it as passivity or detachment. Let them. You do not need to explain what God is doing in you. Explanation often cheapens sacred processes. Those who are meant to understand will recognize the fruit in time. Those who are not do not require justification. Stay focused on what you are building, not on how you are perceived. Chosen. One, generosity will continue to be a key marker of alignment in your life. Not just generosity with money, but with wisdom, time, and encouragement. Giving does not drain you now the way it once did. That is because your source is shifting. You are no longer giving from reserve. You are giving from flow. Flow replenishes. Hoarding depletes. As long as you stay connected to the source, what moves through you will not exhaust you. There is also an invitation here to rest without guilt, to enjoy moments of stillness, to appreciate progress without immediately chasing the next milestone. Rest recalibrates vision. It prevents burnout. It preserves joy. I had to learn this the hard way. There were seasons when I believed rest was something I would earn later, but later never came until I chose rest intentionally. When I did, clarity improved, creativity returned, and provision followed. Rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. Chosen one, as this wealth transfer continues to materialize, remember that stewardship is dynamic. You will learn as you go. You will adjust. You will refine. You do not need to have everything figured out now. God reveals what you need when you need it. Obedience unlocks the next instruction. Faithfulness with what is in your hands now unlocks what is coming next. This is not about perfection. It is about responsiveness. Anointed ones stay attentive to small prompts, a nudge to reach out, a sense to pause, a thought to revisit something you once set aside. God often moves in the subtle. Those who are loud miss it. Those who are attentive catch it. Your sensitivity is an asset. Protect it. Do not drown it out with noise, distraction, or pressure. Chosen one, there is a quiet authority forming in you now, not the kind that demands recognition, but the kind that commands respect without asking. That authority will attract opportunities aligned with your values. It will draw people who are ready to build, not just benefit. It will create environments where growth is natural. You did not manufacture this authority. It grew as you stayed faithful in obscurity. As you move forward, anchor yourself in this truth. You are not carrying this alone. You are partnered, guided, supported. When challenges arise, they will not overwhelm you. When decisions come, clarity will meet you. When responsibility increases, grace will increase with it. This is how heaven operates. It never assigns without supplying. Chosen one, breathe. Let your shoulders relax. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not catching up. You are aligned. What is unfolding does not depend on perfect conditions or flawless execution. It depends on continued trust and willingness to walk with humility and courage. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. Stay responsive. The transfer is not a moment you rush toward. It is a reality you are already stepping into. And as you continue to walk in alignment, you will see that what once felt distant is now part of your daily life, unfolding steadily, faithfully, and with a peace that confirms you are exactly where you are meant to be. Chosen one, take a moment and let your spirit rest in what has been released. This is not just encouragement you heard. This is confirmation. Heaven has already set things in motion, and you are standing in your exact kairos moment, the appointed time where preparation meets release. What has been delayed was never denied. It was being aligned, and now alignment has arrived. Anointed one, I declare over you that the shaking around you will not shake you. The systems of this world may tremble, but your supply is anchored in something eternal. A supernatural transfer is already unfolding, not driven by panic, not forced by effort, but carried by divine order. You will recognize it by the peace that comes with it. You will know it is from God, because it will not pull you out of alignment. It will settle you deeper into purpose. Remain faithful, stay sensitive, keep your heart open and your hands clean. Walk forward with gratitude, not fear. What is coming will meet you with clarity, favor, and responsibility you are now prepared to steward. Chosen one. If this word resonated with your spirit, quietly acknowledge it. Stay connected to this flow, and if you feel led, leave a simple confirmation below and share where you are watching from. Remain aligned, remain grateful, and look ahead, because what heaven has already approved is about to manifest.